So the one thing I want to talk to Liam about is the history of Dr. Disc and his experience with it. So actually, when we came back here, I didn't realize there was another room back here, even more room, and he's actually started moving some of the vinyl back here. So Liam, let's talk about the past, the history of that space, or of you guys running it. Is it you and your brother running the business?
Yes, my brother and I.
So I guess I'm interested in how long you guys have been at it. Like, what made you decide to get into that space, and was it a record store before you moved in?
Yeah, well, it was a record store. It was the second Dr. Disc, the first one being in London. The first one started in '82.
In London?
In London, yeah.
And who you don't know the people who did that?
Well, Sid Atlan was the founder.
Okay.
And his son, I knew his son. He passed away right before I started, but it must have been '93 or so. I'm only guessing now, but
that's when you started.
Yeah, when I started working at the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, in London.
Yes.
Is that right? It must be him. Geez, or
it's been a while.
Is it night or was it? See here. Sorry, I'm just having.
Yeah.
No. It'd been '95.
So when did you come to Windsor and come to have your own space then?
In '01.
So 2001. You've been at this for 9 years then.
Yeah.
In that building.
There. Yeah, but before us, it was there since probably. It's hard to find the definitive time, but people tell me around '86.
Yeah.
Or maybe '89. I'm not. It's around then though.
But you have a really committed customer base, right? Like your customers are there,
Oh yeah.
pretty religiously.
Uh-huh.
So how do they feel about you making this transition, this change? Have you sprung this on them? Like, do they know?
I mentioned before. I mentioned that we're thinking about it for a while, but I've told people, and I'd say 99%, 95% are excited.
Well, that's
Yeah.
What are they looking forward to?
Heat and air would be nice, but I think because the new place will have someone just to take care of the records, and so we'll have someone up there all the time, and just I think we just need a punch in the arm, to
Yes.
get things going again.
And it's a real new dynamic. I mean, for you personally have just had your second child, right?
Yeah.
And that is a big undertaking, and I'm wondering if having the kids has pushed you at all to be in a new space and to experience
that
things.
part of it. I mean, if for instance they can't, if they're sick off school or something, and my wife and I both work here, so we can't. If they're off school, we can't leave them in a freezing building.
Yeah.
So here at least there's a spot for for a playroom or whatever.
That's right.
But I mean, aside from that, I just think it was the right time to do it. We're deeper in downtown.
Yes.
I know there's some people have affection for that old building.
Yeah.
But it's ran its course, I think, there, and I think just we need something new and fresh.
Now, how many people work for you there right now? At
5.
So there's 5 people. You have someone doing computer stuff and trying to get you guys going on the internet with Facebook.
Yeah, Nick does all that.
And then you have people who just know music like the back of their hand, right?
We try.
So it's a lot to run a music store. You had a space there where bands could play.
Right.
What's the deal now?
It's hard. We haven't really. All the bugs aren't ran through yet, but we're just figuring out. We have neighbors here. That old store, there's no one renting next door, so we could get away with, being louder and that. But we'll see. I mean, I don't see a problem with that, but I don't know. To be honest, we never used the stage as much as we had planned.
Right.
Like we had good intentions with it, and bands played there sometimes, but it's hard to get people out to those things,
Yes.
And retail is such, like, you might be busy for the 1/2 hour, and then you're slow for a half hour, you're busy half an hour. So if the band, they have to kind of like jump on when they see people, and we never used it as much as the idea is great, but it never really panned out like we had envisioned.
Right.
But not to say that we couldn't. Maybe there's still potential for that here too, though. I wouldn't rule that out.
And you've added the music lessons. Now, if people don't know, one of the things that's something particularly special about you is that you do play the drums. You play very well. You're in a couple of bands and groups in the city. Are you going to be giving lessons?
If I have time to, but we'll see. I'm talking to quite a few teachers already, so we'll see. I enjoy giving lessons, but if we'll see how it not too sure if I'll be doing it. I'd like to, but I have other people in mind.
Right on. And I guess I in you know, to finalize, I'm curious about your crowd and being in Windsor and having something work. I think there's something to be said for a business that, as far as a business model is concerned, people think that, let's say, selling music and CDs, it's a tumultuous business right now. It's not a guarantee. It's a tough business. But you've done pretty well. Why do you think that your space works in Windsor and downtown? Why do you think a place like Dr. Disc can do well and keep going, especially with the vinyl? I know you sell vinyl, which is something not most music spaces today depend on. But why does it work here, do you think? Well, it could be a very simple answer, or it could be...
I think there's not anything really like it around, which helps. And it's been there a long time. Like, people know the name.
Yes.
And people have been shopping there for a long time. But, I mean, that said, the new vinyl's been reissued like crazy these days. There's still people that want to buy it. And, our business is steadily grown since 2001. So it's like... our accountant says it's still going all right, so
right.
We'll agree.
If the accountant says it's working.
Yeah, so
now, is it Windsor's a big music city? Like, do people have some pretty eclectic tastes?
Yeah, I mean, I've met people with great collections here and loyal customers and lots of great. I met all my friends through working here. So,
now that's
so it's a good town.
Well, there you go. I wish you all the success in the world moving these wonderful products in your new spot in downtown Windsor. So, you heard it right from the guy who's doing the moving, who's going to be at the front desk when you come in, Liam O'Donnell. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
And make sure you check this new space out again. That's going to be in April, but do peek your head in the door, look through the window, and you'll start seeing this place transform over the next couple months, I think.